Hello, friends. Welcome to Whyte Noise. I'm Michael Judson Berry.
Hey, and I'm Ryan Wilder.
And we have a guest judge this episode. It is the absolutely fabulous actress of stage, screen, all the screens, the absolutely wonderful Eunice Bay.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. I have no idea what I'm doing here.
I love that you don't know what the show is. You have no idea what's happening. You were just gung-ho and showed up.
Well, I feel like I've already broken the rules by being not white.
Well, it's spelled W-H-Y-T-E. So it's because it's white noise as if like background noise. Like you listen to this while you're like folding laundry or ignoring your children.
Well, and we're definitely hopping down a path of inclusivity. So
There we go. White and other noises.
In this show, Ryan and I are given a topic, and we each are given 10 minutes to talk about said topic. And then at the end, you choose a winner, whatever that means for you. There was a rumor that we were going to get a Hyman trophy, whatever that is, a trophy that was meant to resemble a hymen. I personally still don't know what a hymen looks like.
I lost mine when I crashed a bike when I was 9.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I fell on a bike. I crashed into a bush and like boing, like, cartoon style on the bar. And like and I was in a fight with my mom. Excuse me. Oh, that happens a lot.
Welcome, Eunice Bay.
That happens a lot with me. And my mom and I were in a fight and she didn't want me to go ride my bike in the rain. And I was like, I'm going to Allie's house. And then I stormed out and I lost control in the rain and crashed into a bush and started bleeding between my legs. And then I went to my friend's house because I was like, I can't go back. She's gonna be right. So I went to my friend Allie's house, and poor Mrs. Bryant had to deal with that.
With your broken hymen.
And I had to like ride the bike, like not sitting on the seat, but I was in like so much pain. And then I got to the house and I arrived with like bloody underwear, and Mrs. Bryant had to tend to me. And then I went to a gynecologist for the first time, and I was like 9, 10. And
oh my God.
Because it was a Korean gynecologist who spoke to Korean to my mom, I didn't know what was going on. And when I asked her what happened, my mom just goes, "You tore some tissue." That's all I got. So I didn't realize that I broke my hymen until I was an adult.
Whoa.
Do you say that your first lover's name was Huffy?
I say that I lost my virginity to a rotary. I think it was a Spalding. If I ever have kids, the firstborn will be called Spalding after his first father.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
So Ryan, would you like to say what the topic was for today?
The topic is pee-pee, or I guess peeing your pants.
Oh my God, I'm so on brand and I didn't even know it.
All right. Eunice, as you are our guest judge, who would you like to go first?
Well, I know Ryan less, though apparently it seems I might know him forever. I might have known him forever and I didn't know.
We're actually kindred spirits.
Mm-hmm. From the Nova Star.
Yes, you guys have never met, but just found out that you're from the same hometown, which is amazing.
And
in the same time.
Overlapping relationships, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Ryan because I know him less.
Okay. I shall be your timekeeper. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Set, go.
I wanted to understand like what's behind peeing your pants. Is there like a rationale for it, or why do we focus on it, sort of thing? And generally speaking, it's considered an emotional response outside of a stress pee, which frequently comes from laughing too hard because you are putting pressure in your abdomen. And if you have a weakness in your bladder, congratulations, laugh pee pee.
Congratulations, you're in your 40s.
But I thought one of the cool things is they associate. So it's well known that if you get scared and your adrenaline goes up, some people have a propensity to pee themselves. Well, and I guess also poop themselves. But evolutionary biologists have suggested that it's interlinked to the flight or fight response. And it's essentially your body getting rid of things that would hold it back or distract it from doing whatever it needs to do. So it's an evolutionary response. I also liked, by the way, like there are different excuses for why it happens, or coming up with creative excuses for explaining, like, why did you just pee yourself? And apparently it's popular in some Eastern cultures to say that it's the result of releasing bad energy. So in other words, you just peed yourself because you needed to get it out. Like whatever was in you.
That's not fair, because I had Eastern Asian parents and they never taught me that. That's not right. That was my birthright.
Do you get to like, well, now if it happens, you can just be like, look, I'm letting out some spirits.
I'll do that at Thanksgiving. I'm going down there in 3 weeks and just like squat.
You just left some bad energy on the floor.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
But that's why I do it
Somebody
in the
get a
kitchen,
towel.
because it's linoleum, so that we don't have to, it doesn't absorb anywhere.
That's really considerate of you to
Yeah,
release your bad energy in
you.
an easy to clean place.
I think interlinking to this conversation, it's a focus of humor because it's a universally relatable concept. So like everyone has some sort of relationship to pissing yourself. Whether it be from when you were a child to it accidentally happening and that moment of embarrassment or whatever else. And that's why it ends up being so pervasive in humor. Actually, I have to say as an adult, the pee-pee thing is I've never had a pee-pee incident, but I've had a brown incident, a few of them.
I've had both. I recently discovered that I was in my 40s, even though I was like 43 at the time, when I was in rehearsals for a play. And we were laughing so hard that I peed a little bit, like literally just like a drop, like so little. But I was just like, that's never happened before. And I was like, I guess I need to go back to a daily Kegel regimen. That is unacceptable behavior from her.
And you taught me what Kegels,
I taught you
how
what
to
Kegels
do Kegels.
I'm doing them right now.
Same.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have a little bit of a story about a friend who encouraged me to pee my pants.
Wait, he encouraged you to pee your own pants?
Yeah. So the context of this is post college. This is when I was working for a large pharmaceutical medical company, and I was in one of these like development programs. So it was like 30 of us all freshly out of college with a salary, all living in New Brunswick, New Jersey, which is also a college town. And candidly, I think we went a hell of a lot harder those first few years after college than I did even in like college.
Well, yeah, because you have income.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you're still getting the college deals at the bars. Like we all knew the bars to go to where it was 2 for $1 and ladies' night and whatever else. So my friend, this is where I met him. He was in this program with me. And I would also tell you, like, I think I had a little bit of a crush on him. He's a very attractive guy. And
does he like Korean women?
Actually, yes, he does. I think he's married to a Korean woman.
Well, that doesn't help.
I'm sorry. Actually, I got to be careful in case he listens. I don't want him to know that I'm talking about him. We were like chatting one night, and he's like, dude, you absolutely should piss your pants sometimes. And he's like, you're like in a concert, you're in the front row, you're like right at the front, and you're like having the time of your life. He's like, are you going to get up and leave that moment, or are you going to piss your pants? And he's like, you're going to piss your pants. And I'm like, no, I am not. I am going to leave and go pee.
Wait, I changed my mind. I don't want to date him anymore.
Well, this story evolves.
Oh, God.
So I like this ended up being like a joke. Like we made this joke back and forth for the rest of the summer. All right. And fast forward, like people move on. He ultimately moved to a different part of the country. And my roommate, when I was there, he gets married, and it's at this thing out in Cancun, or south of Cancun in Mexico. It is an incredible wedding. It was like they rented this mansion that was made up of 3 different mansions, and they rented all 3. And like one had the tennis courts and the pool, and then the one and the courtyard. And it ended up being this interesting amalgamation actually of people from Fairfax, because, my roommate and I were both from Fairfax. He went to Fairfax High School. I've got all these people from Fairfax there, and then I've got all these people from J&J. And the Fairfax Pete has a whole different branch. If I had time, I'd tell the rest of that story.
Wait, what years were you at J&J?
I was there right out of college, so 2003 to like 2007.
I think you know a different friend of mine from college who was in J&J those years. Like early. Okay, go on with your story. Sorry,
all right. Well, yeah, now I want to know.
We're going to have a big cup of tea after we're done recording.
So I'm at this party, and like I haven't seen this person for a really long time, right? So like people have grown.
This is in Cancun or in Mexico, yeah?
Yeah, this is in Mexico, and I see this dude sitting at the table, and I've had a few drinks. So I go over to the table and I sit down, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to say his name. We'll have to bleep that out. Are we gonna pee our pants? Are we gonna do it? Are we finally gonna do it? Are we gonna pee pants together tonight?
Did you say you were drunk?
Yeah, I was a little drunk.
Okay.
And he looks like deer in headlights. His wife, I don't know if it was girlfriend or fiance at the time, is giving me like a death stare. And the two other people the two other friends at the table are looking at me like, bro, like, do you like not know sort of thing? And it's just really, really freaking awkward. And I finally like, well, I guess it was good seeing you. Maybe we'll piss our pants together. I don't know. And I get up and leave. So the next day, like we're out in the water, swimming around outside this place that we're at. And he pulls up to me next to him on a paddleboard, and he's like, hey, he's like, look, I'm really sorry. And he goes, I know that was awkward, but I've really moved on from that part of my life, and I've made a lot of really healthy changes, and I'm working towards like a better me here. And like we really don't like engage on that part of my life. And
what part of my life is that?
Well, he liked to party. Like I think he was a pretty hard partier at the end of the day. And like nothing wrong with that. Like I'm all for it.
But
I'm
why is that? Whether or not you were a hard partier, peeing your pants is still funny.
I agree. I just think I'm gonna read through the lines and in gamble there's probably some hard relationship related items and are related to maybe drinking.
Or maybe he's born again?
Like things have been worked. Oh no, definitely not born again. I don't think so. It could be. But it struck me as like bad topic to bring up in front of new life, if you will. And I kind of felt like a jackass for it.
Well, no,
but he was cool about
this person is a jackass to not be able to laugh at peeing your pants, or even being in a time that you thought that would be a valid option in your life.
I mean, I thought it was funny. I was hoping he'd be like, yeah, man, let's do it.
Yeah, because clearly you have moved on from your life as well, from trying to pee your pants.
Yes, we've all grown up together.
Yeah.
We can laugh about this now.
We can laugh because we are not in that place anymore, obviously.
But I feel like we've all been in that situation when you've like seen someone, it's been a long time, and you're like, and this, and they're like, that's not a joke anymore.
I absolutely thought that you were going to tell me that he had like urethral cancer or something like that.
Oh God. At this same party, at this same wedding, one of the guys that I went to high school with, kind of like going down that route, which is a little freaky. We're all sitting at a table. He's sitting there with his wife, and we're all having this elaborate conversation. And she suddenly looks at him and goes, honey, I'd like the coloring books, please. And he's like, yeah, honey, no problem. And whips out a coloring book and lays it out on the table. And she gets out her crayons and markers and like starts going to town. And I'm like, this is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. I can't, like, what the hell is going on here? So again, the next day I run into one of my friends and I was like, what the fuck is up with the coloring books? And my buddy goes, oh, you don't know. And I was like, clearly I don't know. And he goes, yeah, she got a very bad brain infection, had encephalitis. And as a result of the encephalitis, now operates at the level of like a 12 to 13-year-old. And he goes, and the legal battle with her family has been terrible. I ended up hanging out with him later that weekend, and he's like, yeah, man, my main piece of advice is make sure that with whomever your significant other is, that you have very clear rules and legal agreements around what happens if somebody's incapacitated. And he goes,
whoa.
Like, her parents are fighting to take the children. Her parents are fighting to take half my company. And he's like, it doesn't help that they don't like me and they've never liked me.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so like it was this, and he also said that she had like a lawyer that was essentially the approver of all of her adult activities, including sleeping together.
So a conservatorship.
I guess so. I guess it is like the Britney. I was like, I was thinking about this earlier. Is it the Britney Spears thing?
So the moral of the story is that Ryan does not keep up with his old friends.
That is the moral of the story.
I think that's a fair moral of the story.
You're the opinion of, what was that song? Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold.
Yeah.
Clearly, your old friends are silver, and they're
one
not
is
worth
silver,
as much.
and the others are gone.
Also, we are way over time. I realized I didn't hit an alarm. I just set a stopwatch, and there was no sound. I just looked down. It was like 15 minutes, and I was like, oh, well, sorry.
That's fine.
I lose. But you were in mid-story. Oh, also, before we started recording, and these two were realizing they're from the same town and know the same people, they were like, oh my God, I know that girl. She got a lot of UTIs.
From sex.
Well, as far as we know.
Well, she was like the first person I knew who was having regular sex like that, enough to get a UTI. And I was in a bathroom stall with her one time, and I just heard groaning.
Oh.
All right, so my turn?
Yeah. Do you want me to time you?
Are you timing?
I mean,
sure.
You know,
you can actually set an alarm. Like, do it. And
we'll
then
operate within guidance here. You know, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
You work in corporate America. You're used to adhering to real rules.
He's responsible.
Responsible.
I wouldn't go that far. Let's settle down. All right, you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Hi, Una.
Hi.
The first thing I thought
flirting?
of when I was told,
What the hell?
of course, I'm trying to win. Please.
I'm out. I called Eunice the wrong name before we started. I figured this is already over.
Oh yeah, you thought her name was Esther. At least it was like biblical.
That is the trend. E-names that are biblical for women.
E-names that are biblical. So Emily, Rachel. That didn't start with an E. So the first thing I thought of when I was told the subject today was going to be PP/peeing your pants was Will and Grace, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. And they have this great joke, which I still think of all the time, when there's a whole episode around Will peeing his pants once while wearing khakis. And Jack wants to use the joke in one of his Just Jack cabarets. And Will doesn't want to let him do it. And he, to that day, he's like, it wasn't pee, it was Sprite. And Grace is walking by and she just goes, maybe going in. And that to me is one of Grace's funniest moments on the entire show. And then, Jack goes on to do the cabaret. He's bombing. And then Will finally gets up and he's like, you can use the PP joke. And then the whole cabaret becomes Jack just like making fun of Will. And he just roasts Will and it's funny. But whenever I think of PP, it's just like, oh, somebody peed their pants. I'm like, was it Sprite? Maybe going in. So that's the first thing I just had to get out that it always makes me think of. The other personal thing, see, I go reverse of Ryan. He starts with facts and then personal. I start with personal. The other one was, I'll never forget, in first grade, I had this horrible teacher, apparently is lovely now, Sister Mary Elizabeth. And she was terrifying, especially for first graders.
Wait, you went to Catholic school?
I went to Catholic school. This is at Most Holy Rosary. And
how have I not known
problem.
this for so many years?
Oh, and then I went to Christian Brothers Academy. I wore a uniform from pre-K 4 through college. When I got to college, I didn't know how to dress.
I think you told me about the uniforms because, when you told me, when we would, hang out during the pandemic, I'm like, you always look so, put together. And you're like, I think you said, I wore a uniform in school. This is all I know.
This is all I know is khaki pants or navy blue.
Yeah,
white
and
blue
a button-up shirt
and
with a sweater on top.
Yeah.
I have to ask it. Would Brian say you know how to dress now?
No.
But he knows how to pilfer Brian's closet usefully.
And
wear it well.
And when he assigns things. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we had Sister Mary Elizabeth, who I think she's still alive and teaches special ed, but she was really, really tough. And I remember I had to do a presentation. We had buddies, and I had to do a presentation with this kid, Tommy.
Wait, you weren't in special ed, right?
No.
Okay.
She teaches special ed now, which strangely enough, apparently she's really good at. But at regular teaching, she was like really scary and mean. And we're presenting, and Tommy was really nervous, and he was like really quiet, and she kept yelling at him from the back of the room to speak up. And then finally, Tommy peed.
No, Tommy.
And in front of the whole class. And it was one of those where it went all the way down his leg and puddled on the floor.
God.
Like in his shoe?
Like something out of a movie.
He talks
and
about
again, because uniforms.
He talks about that in
khaki
therapy,
pants.
doesn't he?
He probably does.
God.
And was it Sprite going in? We'll never know. But yeah, it like and full khaki pant too. Like if you can to make it worse, it's
so
not
you
like
can
it was
like
jeans
see
or
it
dark
as
pants.
it travels.
Yeah, and like I think he was trying to ignore it while it was happening and tried to just kind of power through. And actually, which I will give him credit for, we finished the presentation and then he went to the bathroom. But yeah, and it was so
That's
follow up with
resolution.
Tommy and see how he has dealt with this trauma.
I think, according to the last thing his mom posted on Facebook,
his mom.
Tommy's doing okay.
His mom?
I think he's like married and doing just fine. Well, it's Facebook, you know.
But I want to know like what he discussed with his therapist because I know for sure he talked about this with them.
Oh, probably. Yeah, and it was so bad. Like the other kids didn't even tease him about it, which was shocking. Because it was a tiny, tiny school, you know, and kids are vicious. And no one even made fun of him. Like that's how sort of like collectively mortifying that was.
Oh God.
We uniformly identify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the time that was the day that Holy Rosary learned about empathy.
So that goes, Ryan, with how he was feeling because he was probably emptying so that he could flee Sister Mary Elizabeth.
That's right. He's like, I need to get the fuck out of here very quickly.
Yeah. He's like,
Poor
I don't want to do
kid.
this presentation on China anymore. And I'll forget, it was all on China. We were so excited about it. We had researched, we had one of those little 3-section boards.
Poster boards with the folding.
Yeah, that folded out. Those were just becoming a thing. We were so excited about this presentation. Yeah. It was a sad day.
How old were you again at this juncture?
First grade. So that's that. So that's the personal thing. So then I was doing some research. So a problem I personally have that I think many of us have is a thing that I have now learned, which I think you probably know this, is called latchkey incontinence.
I feel like I might have heard this, but I can't remember.
So latchkey incontinence is when you're totally fine until you're home and
Yes.
you're going to open the door
Yes,
and then
and your
immediately
bladder,
you have
like,
to pee.
initiates.
And not only do you have to pee, you have to pee. Now you're that commercial like gotta go right now, gotta go. You are that person. So yeah, so latchkey incontinence. I thought that was just like a thing from being some people I know that are like, you know, you're on a walk and then you're within a block of home and all of a sudden you're like, everything in my body needs to be out of my body right now. But latchkey incontinence is a real medical condition.
I do this with number 2.
Many people
Yeah,
have.
that happened
number
to
2
me.
also.
That happened to me one time with number 2 at my mom's house, and I did not make it.
See, and I think a
And
lot of people can relate to that.
And I was wearing a dress.
Oh my.
Oh no. Well, actually, that sounds pretty convenient.
Well, at one point I did reach under and scoop the bottom of the dress forward.
Oh, because I was thinking if you were outside, you could just spread.
Oh,
just
no,
stand
no, no, no.
apart
I
and just
was-
let it go.
Latchkeying. As I walked in, the body was
Ooh.
like, nope, we're done. And thankfully, I was at my mom's house and my mom has cleaned up a lot of my poop. So, yeah. So,
I hope you don't mind me asking, like, what sort of, were we like solid or not solid?
oh my gosh, not solid. That's why
Ooh.
it was happening. Like, I have Kegels, I can hold a solid. But when it's liquid, it's just like, bye. That's why they're called the runs, because they run through you.
I was gonna say sometimes the advantage of a dress. Like I remember seeing, I think it was a TikTok of some woman in like Target or something, and she's in the checkout line, and then she just sort of like very subtly steps her legs just a little farther apart and just straight up poops, and then takes her bags and just leaves.
So it's like the bridesmaids, like it's happening, it's happening, it's happening.
It's happening.
Oh my
Except it was
God.
like a pretty solid, like regular. Like she actually looks pretty healthy.
You had to push for that though.
and she just
Maybe it was
wouldn't
there.
even know it.
Maybe it was knocking on the door, you know?
Oh my God. People
Yeah, it was
are
yo-yoing.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Turtling.
Turtling.
We all have terms.
No. I'm not gonna try to let it happen. I'm gonna always try to let it not happen.
Same, right? Anyway, so that's latchkey incontinence. And there are obviously many other reasons, like it could be due to aging and neurological disorders, but a lot of it is like just psychosomatic. Like your brain just knows that you're home. So there's that. But a way, if you do suffer actually from like bladder issues or incontinence, a way that you can help stop bladder leaks if you're somebody who struggles with this is pumpkin seeds. Well, Kegels. Which I know now how to do from when Eunice and I were hanging out. And I was like, what exactly are Kegels? And you were like, let me tell you.
I was like,
we
do
did
it with
a little
me.
master class.
we had a master class. We had a master class at an outdoor cafe on 7th Avenue in Chelsea.
Oh, that's my time. Okay, well,
but I want to hear about pumpkin seeds.
But yeah, if you do suffer from these things, pumpkin seeds apparently. So they are packed full, I'm reading right now, of essential nutrients like potassium, magnesium, and zinc. But one thing they do is help dilate blood vessels and therefore help bladder muscles to relax. This muscle relaxation helps reduce the urge to go to the loo. This was written by a British person, obviously. Urge to go to the loo. And that's probably why these have been used as traditional herbal remedy for urinary symptoms for many, many years.
Wait, does that include UTIs or just latchkey incontinence?
No, just overactive bladders, known as OABs, OABs.
Is that you then?
Yes. And then urge incontinence, which are the two most common bladder issues affecting millions of people. Also including nocturia, which is the sensation to pee at night. So if you have nocturia, that's when you like wake up and you're like, oh, I have to pee right now. Oh, I didn't even think about this, but we're recording this a week of Halloween, which is perfect. There's lots of pumpkins around.
Yes, the pumpkin seeds are thrown away or roasted and eaten, so I don't know how to get them. You have to roast them, right? Like you can't eat a pumpkin seed raw, right?
No, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to roast them. I don't remember why. I don't think they're going to kill you.
I don't think it's going to be a good time.
I have this recipe where I take butternut squash and I split them and I smoke them for like 3 hours. But then I take the pumpkin seeds and season them, or the butternut squash seeds, and I season them and then I let them cook real long with the butternut squash in the smoke. It's so delicious.
Wait, but
can
share. Butternut squash seeds work in place of pumpkin seeds?
This is just saying pumpkin seeds, but do they have the same nutrients?
I'm pretty sure. I think gourd seeds all kind of fall into the same category, but you know what? That's a fact check.
You know what we should do now is create a pumpkin spice latte with roasted ground pumpkin seeds like sprinkled on top so that you can have your latte and then not worry that you're going to accidentally pee it out later.
So you can have those things like coffee and milk that are like immediate pee friends to your pee bladder.
Yeah, and then have
they
some
make you pee real hard and they make you real dehydrated.
They do. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I learned. So if latchkey incontinence, I think we all have, and we should all be having pumpkin seeds if we're worrying about being little leaky faucets.
Just do your Kegels, people.
Just do Kegels. I'm doing them again.
I have a fun app that makes it a game.
Wait, what? What's this app that makes Kegel games?
It's not like a game, but like it changes up the length of the pause and the hold and the pause and the hold, or the hold and release, whatever. Uh-huh. And so like each day is a different pattern. And so you have to accomplish each day and you get to go to different levels.
Ooh.
Do you have a favorite pattern?
No, I can't keep track of them. It's like 12 seconds on, 7 seconds off, 3 seconds on, 3 seconds on, like that.
I don't know. I was thinking like Julie Andrews being the voice of this and that, like, let's make it a game. And it's like Joey Dimon, she's like, hold your bladder, like 12 seconds on and now release. I don't know why this feels like a great Julie Andrews
I
thing.
wish there was a voice to it. There is not. There's only a vibration. And you can even, if you pay extra for the app, you can get like an incognito mode so that no one knows that you're counting seconds for Kegeling. Like when you're doing it on the train, which I have done. And I have been like face down, phone. I'm just going to feel those vibrations. I kind of wish I had incognito mode right now.
I'm very excited. We're gonna put the health and nutrition metadata label on this one.
Scientifically backed by actors.
Yes. All right. So that's it. You got a really extended version, Eunice. Since
Did I?
we got into this,
Well,
since
it's
we both
because I
went over
I
time.
kept interrupting.
No, but it's perfect. It's what you're supposed to do. You did it brilliantly.
Okay.
Right. But now you choose a winner, whatever that means for you.
Oh no, I don't like this part of the game.
Sorry.
Can everybody win?
I mean, you're the judge. Shoe Mike, your dog could win, I guess. She didn't participate, but like
Shumai, you know what? Shumai is I'm gonna say she wins because she crosses gender norms when she pees. As a female dog, she marks by lifting a leg and peeing on vertical surfaces.
That is a gift.
I one time saw her go up on just her 2 front legs one time, and both of her back legs like kind of floated as she peed one time. Not for a long time, but
it's
it
like
happened.
a doggy twerk almost.
Yeah. But the back legs didn't land on anything; they just hovered. It was wild.
Amazing.
So for that, I say she won. For runner-up, because there always has to be a runner-up, I'm going to say Ryan, because it was baffling, that story about this guy who suddenly couldn't, he became a mystery. The guy who didn't want to pee pants anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Like that's a cliffhanger. Like, what happened to him since?
I hope at some point maybe it would totally entertain me if he listened to this and then like pings me and is like, Jesus Christ, why'd you bring it up? No,
I want him to ping you and be like, so I've moved on from that part of my life.
Actually, no, I'm back to that part of my life.
I'm back to, I'm back. I've left that part of my life from the wedding, and I've gone full circle back to peeing in my pants.
I'm the unofficial face of Depends.
Yes.
Like,
or maybe he was in a cult. Like, should we ask him to blink twice if he needs help?
I will ask
pee
him.
just a little if he needs help.
Pee just a little bit, but make sure you're wearing khakis so he can tell.
Yeah, just a little. Bloop. Oh, man. All right. So now you have to tell us what our topic is going to be for our next episode that our next judge will have to deal with.
I'm scared.
I wasn't prepared. I would have thought more about it.
No, but it's sort of whatever pops into your head. I'm going to do Kegels while you're thinking.
All right. I just got my first mammogram today, so
Congratulations.
Our topic for next week is memories.
Memories. Not memories.
Not memories, but memories.
Memories.
Memories. Boobies. Tatas.
Boobies.
The girls. Fun bags. Sacks of yellow fat, as Crazy Ex-Girlfriend calls them. My mom yelled at me the last time I was home because I was wearing this shirt and I wasn't wearing anything on the inside. And I like got in the car to start driving, and she was just like, I can see you're everything.
Because you have like
everything?
a big wide open sleeve.
Because I had side boob exposed, and it was not acceptable.
What's worse, having side boob or pooping your dress?
She was more mad about the side boob than me pooping my dress. Honestly. Like, with the pooping, she was kind of like, it's okay. I've seen this before from you.
Aw, I like your mom.
Wow. All right. So this was Eunice. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank
for joining
you.
us at Whyte Noise. Should we do a socials thing? Where can people find you to keep up with you? Because you do cool things like TV shows and Broadway shows and theater and cool things.
I'm not doing anything like that now. Mostly I'm just dressing up my dog for Halloween. But my Instagram is Eunice Bae, EUNICEBAE, and that is my real last name. It was not an interesting last name until about 15 years ago. And my dog is Shumai_Bao_Bay. And I probably post more on hers than mine.
But it's worth following.
It's worth a follow because you'll see a lot of Michael there too.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And next week will be
Boobies. Memories.
boobies. I almost said like marmots, and that's not at all.
Marmalade.
Marmalade. It's the word that you said earlier.
It's recorded. It's there.
It's recorded. All right. Until then, have a lovely week, everyone.